No, I said we're going live.
Oh,
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Nerdlationships episode 3. And today we are talking to Winnie and Squez. So we were talking, me and Winnie were talking, and just, we thought about this week maybe just kind of doing a little bit more of a deep dive on, how Winnie and Squez met, how, um, how their relationship kind of blossomed. So why don't you guys take the floor? Go for it. I mean, I'm kind of just the passenger here this time.
you have the questions. Um. So, well, anyway, let's start like we usually do. How was your week this week, Cheeto?
Mine, I was
Yeah,
all right.
it was all right. That's it.
Yeah,
Nothing
that's it.
happened.
Yeah,
End
no,
of month stuff got you crazy.
actually, we transitioned to in-house, so there was that. So that was a
Oh,
nightmare.
that's even better.
Mm-mm. It was a nightmare, but it's finally starting to settle down. So
Well, that's good. Yeah, this week I um finally have been in my craft room more, so that was good. My ankle's still bad, but like today I went to DC to eat at this fancy Greek restaurant. Don't shoot me, Ginger. Um, and for Galentine's, and it was amazing. And I was able to walk some, so that was nice. But yeah, anyway, this is Squez.
Hi, everybody.
This is my. He just said we were almost together for a year already in March, so that's coming up quick.
wow,
Yeah, right.
seems like
Um,
yesterday he was in
yeah.
your
Yeah,
chat.
Mm-hmm.
it's funny how time works like that.
Yeah.
So tell us about yourself.
About myself, oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well, I guess just the basic stuff. I'm 36. I love video games. I'm also a part-time streamer. As far as that goes, I stream retro games, retro speed runs, challenge runs, anything of the sort. Um, yeah, I work in data center operations on on my off time or on my off stream time. Uh, yeah, I mean, what else you want to know? Like, what else? I mean, she already knows everything. So, what about you,
What
Cheeto?
what what took you to data what was it, data, not data processing, you said data
Data center
Engineering.
operations.
yes, what
Uh,
took you to that in life?
actually, that was more so the world around me. Like, that all happened and everything changed with COVID. Before I used to work in the restaurant industry. I used to work at the Cheesecake Factory, very popular restaurant. I used to work as a waiter there, and one of my buddies, was just looking for, you know, a friend to kind of help him out, and he's like, "Hey, I see, you don't like working. I don't like working in restaurants. Customer service can be brutal." And after doing it for almost 2 decades, I was ready for a change. So uh yeah, he was like, I see that you're working hard to try to learn something new. If I point you in this direction, you know what can you do with it? And so I took a couple months. I was what do they call it when you're off work for a period of time, like I think it's
That's
furloughed.
let's say sabbatical. I don't.
No, it was off work. It was like,
Like unemployed?
yeah, I was unemployed, but they had a different name for it because
Okay. Oh, because of
I
COVID
yeah,
times.
it was, I think it's called furlough, but I
Not
could be wrong.
essential worker is
Yeah. So I
Yes.
was off for 6 months, and I took that time to study, data center infrastructure and the stuff that, that would lead me to where I am today. And I got an interview. From then on, I just took it and ran. I got hired in May of 2021, and I've been there ever since.
Gotcha. Cool.
Mhm.
um so I don't know. I'm trying to bring up the thing. I haven't brought it up yet. um Winnie, what when he, when Squez was coming into your chat and talking and all those other things, I what were your thoughts prior to him reaching out to you? Like, was he just like,
He swears he knew me before our one friend's stream, he swears to God that like he's saw me in somebody else's chat. I would put $1,000 on it that didn't happen. I would be wrong, but I do not remember him at all. Which sounds terrible, but
that's how it mostly goes. Most guys are forgettable, but you know.
Yeah, but I was gonna say like, yeah, just story of my life, right? You know, you like somebody's personality, and you know you bring yourself into try to get their attention, and then
yeah, and they just take our hearts and rip them apart. You know.
Oh my God.
You're not wrong.
So the first time I remember meeting him was I was asked to play Fortnite, which I sucked at because they needed a fourth, and I usually don't say no. Well, anymore I say no because I'm tired, but I at that point when I was trying to grow my channel and do stuff and meet new people, I usually didn't say no. So the first time I remember him in my chat was after we played Fortnite with that girl and his nephew.
Yeah.
He came into my stream that was like either my anniversary stream. I don't know. I was doing Legos and eating hot sauce and being weird. And he came into that stream and was talking to me. And then he gifted me, I don't know, like 5 subs, which was too much. Yeah. And then but I didn't think anything of it or anything. Like, we had a good conversation with that girl, but like, I didn't think anything of it. Like, it's just this guy being nice. And I mean, it's Twitch and I'm a girl. Like, I hate
that's
to
how
say
it starts. It's always this guy being nice.
Yeah.
That's how it goes.
Yeah,
it
was
this
like,
guy
no,
being nice.
You're not wrong. Like she said, I mean, at that time it was innocent. Like, it wasn't like, you know, I'm the type of person that supports, you know, people. Like, if you're someone I watch and, you know, you entertain me and you provide good content, like, yeah, I have no problem being like, you know, attaboy, throw you a sub or two, you know, stuff like that. It wasn't anything about like buying her off or anything, but like freaking yeah, it was everything just started innocently, and over time she thanked me for gifting the subs that I told me I didn't have to do that, and I was like, this is what I do, you know, I'm this kind of person. And then from there on we just kept talking about various things, like, you know, our interests, like our gaming interests, because our gaming interests align almost with the almost parallel with our gaming interests, except like she's more of a Mario fangirl and I like, you know, Mega Man, but we both love Sonic. So like it just kind of blossomed from there.
So Sonic brought you together.
Yeah.
Yes.
little speedster Cupid.
But yeah, and here's at least Supersonic. But
yeah, Supersonic, and I got a Sonic tattoo. So
but yeah, so at the beginning it was just nothing. Like, he was just a nice guy, but like, again, I'm a girl on Twitch and we tend to get, this sounds bad maybe, but people are always nice to us, right? You know, I mean, unless it's a bot being awful, but just is what it is.
It's hard being a person with junk on Twitch. I mean, you know,
yeah. You know, like, and it's so funny about like how we came together, because in my mind, as we started talking more and more, I didn't even think of like the interaction with Twitch. It was just like someone I immediately connected with and just never looked back, right? Like, it was just, I didn't even think about like, oh yeah, I'm a guy on Twitch and I met this person online and all of the stigma that's behind those sort of interactions. I didn't think anything of it. It was just like, you know, good morning, how are you? And, you know, just never really kind of slowed down.
Gotcha. So speaking of that, like, so were either of you looking for, I think I know the answer to Winnie here, but were either of you looking for a relationship?
I am not, Grim.
Absolutely not. I wasn't, like, because like my origins on Twitch was sort of a like get out of my comfort zone thing. I was just coming off a relationship and like I was doing bad things to myself. I had like bad habits and like drinking and like heavy depression and stuff
Talking
like
to
that.
Twitch
And
girls.
and freaking, I'm just, I needed to kind of pivot and doing something completely like out of my comfort zone. I went to therapy for a long time, and like I just kind of took the leap of faith with Twitch and started streaming, and I wasn't thinking anything of it really. Like I was addicted to the interaction, like just meeting so many different people on the platform, and like I just fell into it, and it just completely took me out of whatever negative zone I was in. And I wasn't looking for a relationship, so it just kind of just happened.
Gotcha.
Mm.
I mean, hey, and Winnie, I know your answer. You really weren't looking for anybody. I mean, you were
No,
just,
remember, I don't know, like you were there at that time, like, and a little before that, I was just, everybody's like, we're gonna find Winnie a date, and I'm like, why? Leave me alone and let me stream and play video games.
yeah.
Why do I need to date somebody? Because I too, like,
Yeah, and I was a part of that too. I was making those jokes too. I didn't realize that I would at one day be doing those things.
But yeah, I had come off of a really bad relationship, and I'm like, I don't need this. I can just play video games and have fun and have friends, right? Like, what's wrong with that?
Mhm.
So there was no, like, I'm sure there's clips out there on Twitch of me saying over and over again, no, screw you, I'm not doing this.
I mean, hey, look, the times that we are not looking for somebody is when we find them. I'm a big proponent of that. I feel like the more harder you look, the further away it gets.
Mm-hmm.
So, I finally brought up all these questions, and I've hit like already several major points already. But
That's okay.
So when did you? And I know you started touching on this. When did you know you guys started liking each other?
You want me to go first?
Yes.
Man, this was
You
this
had
happened
Winnie at
during-
5 gifted subs. She just didn't say anything.
No.
Yeah. For me, it was the time we were during our talking phase. We would do pretty much game nights where like I would play Mario on Discord, and she would just watch me play, and like it was incredible. I was dying left and right, but I didn't care because we were just like talking, and she's watching me play, I'm playing, and like she's asking me questions, like deep personal questions about like where I find myself in X years, and like just having that feeling of comfort while I'm gaming, with someone is just one of the it's one of those things that really get to me. Like it's something that I enjoy, something that I've never had as a partner. Like most of my partners, like my previous partners, had like different hobbies, and didn't really mesh well with mine, but being able to like comfortably just like game with Winnie, talking, just having a good time, that's kind of when it started to like really blossom.
And yeah, that was about when it was for me too. But like what he didn't realize was like when he was saying, tell me when to jump, or tell me, like he was including me into a single player game. Like not to keep bringing up my ex would like play video games at his parents' house because he really didn't want me to be involved. And all I wanted to do was watch him play whatever game he was playing. And when this guy decided to like include me, I was like, oh, somebody, could play single player games and include me. And that was when I knew it was different.
Sorry if I keep looking off screen, but this is what I got going on.
Yeah, I'm doing the same thing.
Hell yeah.
Hey, Riker.
Hell yeah. Leah Bear's right here.
He's just rolling around and just like I don't know what he's doing, but that he keeps I don't know if you guys can hear him or not, but he keeps on making noise like a turd. Anyway, well that's that's probably one of my problems is like not that I don't want someone to watch me play a single player game, but I prefer to play single player games because just like I don't know, and maybe I don't play well with others. I don't know. I'm an asshole, so you know.
You are
It
not.
could be mood based too. Like there are times where like depending on like what kind of day we've had or whatever happens, like sometimes it's good to play games together, but sometimes like I just like watching her play a game or like maybe make a choice for
This man has sat through hundreds of hours, I swear to God, of Disney Dreamlight Valley and not said a thing other than, what's the next thing we're doing? And I'm like, this game has to be so boring for you because you're doing all the platformer things. And I'm like, I'm going to decorate my island.
I love it. I love because personally, I like Disney Dreamlight Valley. I don't like playing those games, but watching it, like I love watching streamers play it. I love watching Winnie play it. Like it's just so fun. Like especially when I'd be like, oh, you could change this, make this, like on a platform, everything's kind of set for you. You don't really have any sort of customization or interaction outside of doing whatever the objective is.
Gotcha. So obviously, originally you two were apart. You, I believe, Squez, you lived in DC, correct?
Yeah.
Originally, I didn't.
Yeah.
And then Winnie, obviously, you lived closer to me in Ohio. So, like, obviously, you guys did the long distance thing for a short time. I don't know how long it really was. Probably a couple months, right? Like,
it was about from March to
August.
So not very long. It felt like it was a long time, but it wasn't very long.
So eventually Winnie, came down for a visit, got a hold of one of your Mega Man, things, and said,
Mega Buster.
Yeah, she got your Mega Man, and she's like, either you let me move in, or
no, actually, to that point, I asked her because one thing that we talked about before she came down was that she was already going to move down anyway, regardless of where we were in a relationship. And the way, like her plan, and I'm sorry to say this, was like abysmal. Like it was gonna be fun. I couldn't register anything that she was saying, and I'm like, look, just you could move in, we could do this together. Like your plan was not intelligent. It was
not a good plan.
Yeah, it was. She told me, and it was just like,
don't you dare, Leo Bear.
I was like, you're gonna make your life worse. Just don't do
it. Just was gonna be a lot of money.
Yeah, it was awful.
When she came down for the first visit, like how did that go?
Was the first visit when I was doing the test. I was actually working I was working from home. I didn't want her to like cancel her trip, but I had to do like a virtual class involving my job for like electrical safety training, and it was like an 8-hour thing. So she actually like sat in my kitchen while I was in like my office or my stream room, like on a video call, like a video class. Like it was so weird. But after that, we finally she met Leo Bear. Leo Bear pretty much did all the real work for me. Like
if Leo Bear approves, then
Leo Bear.
That's an endorsement.
I look out into the kitchen where they were hanging out, and she's sitting down petting Leo Bear, and I just knew, I was like, I don't have to do anything else. Just let me focus on the class, and
Plus, like I brought my Nintendo Switch, which is portable, so like. It's not like I can't figure out something to do,
I felt so bad. I was just like, I am so sorry. This sprung up on me. Like, this is like the worst way to, I can't skip it. I can't it's my job.
Which we went to, but like after that, we went to like, which museum did we go? We went to a Smithsonian. I don't remember which one, to be honest. We went to the Air and Space Museum, which was awesome. So after I'm obviously he's got to work. It is what it is. Like I was fine. I was like kind of trying to figure out what his job was because I still wasn't quite sure then. So I was listening to that. I was playing my Switch when the cat was inside. I was playing with the cat, whatever. And then like I had planned, if you know me, I plan everything. So I already had museums planned. I already had like, okay, we could eat here, here, or here. That's close to this museum because that's how my brain works. And like because I love Washington D.C. and I came here from Ohio a couple times a year, every year for the last 10 years or so. I know the subway system, like I had it all planned.
Yeah. And me, I'm more of a go with the flow. I don't really follow a plan unless absolutely necessary. Like me, I just don't. I like as long as we have sort of like a
a general
outline of what we could do. Anything doesn't really like. I'm cool with it, right? So,
but we went to the Air and Space Museum. I had that's my favorite Smithsonian probably. So again, if you come to DC and you guys will need a tour guide, that's me. But the Air and Space Museum had it wasn't just space stuff or airplanes or whatever. It also had a little Star Trek unit. It also had a little Star Wars unit. Yeah, exactly.
mm-hmm.
So they had I think a TIE fighter hanging from the ceiling, and
you speak of my language.
Yes. So it works on many levels, right? Because we're already nerds because we're hanging out at a museum.
Yeah.
But the fact that there was nerdy things there too was pretty awesome. But we were running it was we knew each other for forever because we're running around this museum, we're taking stupid pictures. Hi Khaleesi, hi everyone, thank you for being here. Short interruption, but we were running around taking silly pictures and loving everything, and it was just so much fun. It didn't feel like we never knew each other.
Yeah,
and
to that point, I don't like leaving the house. I'm gonna be honest, I don't like leaving the house. I'm a homebody. Most of the time, anytime I leave the house, I either spend a lot of money or do get involved into some bad stuff. I try to avoid leaving the house. And when we took this trip, it was just so fun. I was smiling. I didn't even care that I was sweating from all this walking. We were walking 10 miles across DC. I had such a good time.
Good. So you answered the question about what did you do on the first trip. So we get to the end of your first visit, and Winnie's heading home. Squez is heading back to the promised land, his home. How did you guys?
I call it my fortress of solitude because I don't ever leave the house. I call it my fortress of solitude.
You know what? We all have our fortress of solitude, whether it's a room, a house, or an underground bunker. We all have it.
Don't want to know.
Listen, it's where I keep the bodies. Okay, just
I know.
I didn't hear it. I didn't hear that.
So, how did you guys feel after that? And be honest here. You two were meeting physically, as far as I know, physically for the first time. Outside of online and everything like that. How did you guys feel after that? Were there still some things you were trying to work out in your mind? I know you said you had a great time, but Winnie, were there any reservations about moving to DC, just moving in with this person that you've only known for a couple months? I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying,
he wants to know. Leah Bear is interested in the answer. He's interested.
I didn't have after that first time, I wasn't thinking about moving in with him. I honestly wanted to move out of Ohio, which is a very red state, and where there were Nazi rallies literally less than 20 minutes away from me. I wanted to move out of there, away from that crap.
Okay, look, my house was available and they paid me. Okay, so.
I just wanted to move away from that crap before the actual, it got closer to the actual election, because I wasn't I was getting flyers on my door saying I was going to hell because I'm mixed and all this weird crap. So I was going to move here regardless.
I think you're just going to hell because you play Dave the Diver. That's all I think. So.
I love Dave the Diver. But no, so I just wanted to get out of here. My sister 4 or 5 years ago moved to New York City, but I've been there it's not it's cool, it's fun, but it's not. I like museums, I like history, I like, this is where our country, began on this sort of border of the coast. And so like this is where I've always loved. So this was my plan regardless. It just happened that he lived here too.
Now, for me, like to answer your question, I actually had reservations, but it had nothing to do with Winnie. Like most of my reservations were all internal. Like it was like, am I ready to be in a relationship? Am I moving too fast? Like I don't want this relationship to be like my last one. And I was doing all of that, like that's what's the word I'm looking for, introspection, like just kind of vetting everything, because like I had a good time, but for the most part, is this time gonna be like, will this moment be fleeting? Like, is this just like a one of, is this person, because obviously like most of your highs happen in the beginning of a relationship, most of the time, but like I had to do all of that thinking. Like after she left, I had such a wonderful time and I never wanted it to end. And, I had to balance those emotions, like, trying to kind of be level about it. Right. So those were my reservations. It had nothing to do with her, how we spent our time, or any personality things. It was more so like, do I want to make another mistake? Right. Like, am I making the right choice? If I do this, like, I'm going to go all in and, do it. And I had to go through that process, that.
And I guess to answer the whole question, if it didn't work out, I would have been a little sad, but like I would have understood, I guess. But like we had so much fun that like, and he's such a nice guy that I'm like, this will be okay.
Why would you insult him? He's sitting right there.
No.
If you don't know anything about me, Squez, the term "a nice guy," I hate that phrase.
Yeah,
with,
I know.
Burly, brilliant passion. Like I had somebody say that to me once, and I like gave them this look, and they're just like, "What?" I said, "Do not insult me that way."
Yeah.
So if you take it as a compliment, more power to you. But for me, it's like, ooh, you want to get under my skin? Call me a big guy.
Yes, Cloud. That's exactly it. You got to take that risk to get happy. So
let's mosey. All right. Cloud. So all right. So you guys obviously went through your processes. You obviously decided to continue. So I mean, like, how long was it between your first visit and your second visit?
I think it was a month, right?
Yeah, like almost exactly. It was like the last week of April was our first visit, and the last week of May was our second visit. Gotcha. Did you come to me that time? But that whole time we were still, I don't think we were on the phone that much. Some between that, but we were still talking like 24/7.
Did you guys have like the cord wrapped around your finger while you're talking?
Yes.
Next to the wall mount.
Cords?
Yeah, I got like my gaming headphones like plugged into my phone so I could like lay down and talk to her while we were like talking while I was in bed.
But yeah, so we talked a little on the phone then, I think, and then up until the May trip. The May trip was the one you had COVID, right?
Yeah, that was when I knew I wanted you to move in with me. That trip was the one that was like, okay, yeah, we're like,
she's a keeper.
Yeah, I felt like, God, it just never like story of my life, right? When you're with somebody you're interested in, something always happens. Like in the first trip, I had to work stuff happen, and then the second trip we were supposed to go to the spy museum. She had paid for the entire thing, and then I get COVID, and so I'm stuck in bed. Like we don't have this, we had this allotted amount of time to hang and do what we wanted to, and I got sick, and I'm just like, oh my God. But like she took it in stride, like she took care of me, like she made me soup, she ordered she just brought me blankets and anything that I needed, like, and it like And I felt so bad. Like I just like it was brutal. Like I was that whole time. It was what 4 or 5 days. It was just like
Yeah, because that was too. You're right. That was a little bit of a longer trip that time.
yeah. I was
But yeah, he was sick. It was fine. It happens.
Yeah.
You know, you can either grin and bear it or be an asshole. Like when people are sick, you have to take care of them. You have to make sure they're okay. You
You
know.
can grin and bear it or be an asshole like me.
Yes. So I just like.
I was like, if you want to go back, it's fine. You know, I'll give you like I was like, I'll pay for your trip back if you want to leave early. And like I felt so bad. And she was like, no, don't even worry about it. I'm gonna take care of you. And like she like just sat there and took care of me while we were watching movies. Like we were just stuck in bed. So yeah.
This is when I learned the whole gosh darn lore to Mortal Kombat.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Because he puts on some of these YouTube channels that he likes to just watch for background noise.
My background noise.
And he's laying there dying, and like I don't know how to work this TV. And plus, he at that time he had a Roku TV, which had a little tiny remote that got lost all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm watching Mortal Kombat for like literally probably how long are those videos?
Yeah, it was a compilation video, so it was like
so it was every storyline of
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat, and I'm just like
so it's really fun. Yeah, I really feel like he lost that remote. He like hit it.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's like no, I'm gonna lay here and she's gonna watch this whole
Yeah.
thing because I can't find the remote.
Yep.
and that's probably right. What I remember, but like that, I liked Mortal Kombat because I like the fighting. But then now that I know the story, I'm like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. Like, why are they like? I remember sitting there like having this internal dialogue because I can't really talk to him because he's sick and he's sleeping anyway. So I remember having this internal dialogue like, what is this? Why are they doing this? They're going back again. Why are they know exactly what's gonna happen? Like I remember just this is what I'm doing. I'm making sure he keeps up on his medicine and I'm watching Mortal Kombat.
Hey, I mean they love it first combat, right?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
So okay, so you had the COVID trip, and any other trips?
We had one. You came up once.
I went to Ohio once.
Yeah, I was gonna say with the one you came to Ohio. What did you find to do in our great state? Because
what did I? Was it the one where like I drove up to surprise you? Where I said I was gonna So I was working. I was on evening shift, so I worked from 2 to 10 at the time, and I was trying to like coax Winnie into believing that I wasn't coming, and meanwhile I'm doing like an overnight drive to Ohio, like at like 4 a.m, and I try to I'm speeding to Ohio because she has to go to work at like 7 a.m, and I was trying to surprise her that morning. So I'm like speeding through the interstate trying to get to Ohio, and like I get there, no sleep. I was up for like 26 hours. Freaking drove up there, and literally like I get there and she opens the door for me like, oh my god, I got it. She's like getting ready for work, and literally I just like plopped myself on her bed and passed out. I literally was just like, I'm going to bed. It's bye. Like
surprise.
As she went to work, I literally I was like, I made it.
No, he actually took me to work.
Did I?
Yeah.
I don't even remember that part. I was so tired.
Because I was like, a lift is like I scheduled lifts because I don't have a car. That's lore for another time, I guess. But I don't have a car, so I was just my job was like 6 minutes away. And he's like, I'll take you to work. And I'm like, sweet, that saves me $10 or $15 or whatever. And but then like I kind of wanted to call off work.
Right? At that point, yeah, I mean
but I needed the money, and that was one of the best paying jobs I've ever had. So I'm like, I need to save this money. And then but like all day long I'm just like, I wish she was here. My work friend whom I love, Marissa, like kept trying to figure out a way to like let me go home with pay. And she's like, what if you worked from home because you're sick? And I'm like, they know that I'm going down there though. So because my boss at the time, I had that first trip planned, and like I told them, and they were like, okay, whatever. They still hired me. The second trip, I'm like, I went down because it was Memorial Day. Is that the one that's in May?
Yeah.
And so it would have been it would have been I didn't have to take as many days off of work so that I could still get paid, but I had like 4 days because of the way our work was. But yeah, so yeah.
Yeah, I remember dropping you off at work, going back to your house, and like falling asleep on a chair. And I was like, man, Ohio was like really hot. Why is it so hot in Ohio?
Oh, I didn't have air conditioning.
I was like, dang, I'm like melting.
Ohio is weather-wise and humidity-wise. Ohio is just one of the worst.
I can't breathe.
Like up here in Ohio, we've gone from like almost 50-degree weather to today being like 22.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's insane how we literally had frozen rain today. Like I walked outside to go do something, everything's a sheet of ice.
Oh my god!
I'm like, okay, I'm staying home.
Yeah. So like, also the funny thing is like I kept telling him I have to get out of Ohio. I'm gonna get killed by these rednecks here, and he was like, she wasn't kidding. I cross into the Ohio border and I see Trump.
Well, and also, I mean, that's a lot, like a lot of Southern Ohio, but we're up in Northeast Ohio where like big population centers like Akron, Cleveland, Canton, a lot of those places are very blue, but Winnie lived more. You lived more.
I lived in Suffield.
Suffield, yeah, towards that. So that's still kind of getting into like the red areas still. So it's like,
and then like every other house that was political or whatever had a Trump flag. He's like, I never saw this much Trump ever in my life. And I'm like, I told you.
Yeah, it's always just the population centers that usually vote blue. So yeah, no, it is dangerous to be, of any different race other than white up here. It's very dangerous to be any gender identity other than male or female up here. It is dangerous because, and I mean, I feel bad for all of my LGBTQ friends as well as all of my racial diverse friends. Sucks. It really does. So anyway, not that we're talking politics,
right?
So when did Squez reveal that he was a major Trump supporter?
That's one thing that we are very like night and day on. I will never ever talk politics. I do not.
Gotcha. I am kidding, by the way.
I don't like. It just
he understands enough to know that like he's not gonna like or support somebody that's just an asshole. Like a
certain somebody.
Yes. So like he knows those details, but like he doesn't like. He's not like us who are sending each other news stories every other minute about what's going on in the dumpster fire that is our government.
Yeah,
Well, so that does bring up the point though. Like, what is the first disagreement you guys had?
First disagreement?
It doesn't have to be an argument. Disagreement, like she was very, very something, and then you were also like, no, I really don't agree with that.
I'm trying to think.
I'm waiting for his answer.
I'm trying to think. I know it's dumb. I'm just trying to think of. Is it interesting enough to talk about?
Yes.
I'm trying to think.
What was it? Because I'm having trouble remembering back then.
I don't remember.
I remember stuff after we moved in, but like everyone has growing pains at first when you move in.
No, it has nothing to do with like living together. It has to do with the game. I don't know what it was though. And I was just like, what are you
Was I playing it wrong or something? Because
no.
Cloud has been in my chat where she's like, Winnie, empty your goddamn pockets. I'm going to strangle you. You know, that kind of thing. So I could see that.
I don't know. Dang, man. Like now that's gonna bug me because like right after the stream, I'd be like, oh, it was that, but I don't know. You asked me something about Sonic, and I don't know.
Was it when I was okay? So I do this thing where like I'm trying to learn about somebody, and he loves Mega Man, and I'm like so in deep in trying to read all this lore so I can make him feel comfortable. And there are some times where I'm asking him all these questions about it, and like he loves Mega Man, but like no one is like the tism got me. So I'm like listing all these things, and he's like, I don't know what the hell. I don't know. Was it that?
It's I don't know.
It might have been the argument about how Sonic is just a big ripoff of Dragon Ball Z. I mean, I'm just, you know.
No.
He also loves Dragon Ball Z.
I do love Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, then you need. Are you watching Daima?
I have not. I'm gonna watch it all in one batch.
Oh, okay, I was say because we're actually doing me and my friend Major Rage on the channel here. We're doing reviews of Daima every week. So I didn't know if you wanted to join us for that. That would be awesome.
I'd have to watch it. What platform is it on? Is it...
Crunchyroll.
Yeah.
And then it comes out a week later on Netflix, I believe.
Okay.
Like a week, it's a week behind the newest episode, but it's on Netflix. So anyway, so that kind of leads into my next question is what thing does the other person do that kind of gets on your nerve now that you guys have been living together for a while?
Shit. There's plenty. Like there's plenty.
This is a great question.
So for me, like it's just little things like why the hell are you wearing your shoes in the house?
Yeah,
like that drives me crazy. Why are you touched all this gross stuff and now you want to hug me? Like but again,
stuff like that. Yeah,
that goes towards my autism stuff, right? Because like we like things in a very particular way, and lots of us autistic people, not everyone, but lots of us are germaphobes. So if it's not the right germs or not, and I fully agree that I know that this is insane, but I can't. I wish I could fix it, but I can't.
Mm-hmm.
But
okay, Howie Mandel.
Exactly. So like certain things like have to be cleaned the right way, and if you don't do it the right way, like so that probably bugs the crap out of him. But like if I could fix my brain so that it wasn't like that, I absolutely 100% would.
Okay, so my answer is like what she said, but like she is like, I don't know if you know, but she hurt her ankle recently, and like she is so adamant on just like living like nothing happened. Like she just continuously like put projects in front of herself, and she's been doing this since before she hurt her ankle. She like put task upon task upon task. I'm just like, slow down, like just you're hurt, just like chill. Like she feels like she always has to do something to like prove her worth to me, if that makes sense. And I'm like, no, you just like you're good. If you could just you're hurt, chill. Let me take care of some burden.
But
like she puts it all on herself, and it's like it's frustrating. It's so frustrating.
But then she knows if you do it, you'll do it wrong. So,
exactly. So it's so I gotta sit. I'm sitting in limbo. Like
that's part of it. But part of it too is like who's gonna cook dinner then?
Yeah.
Like who's gonna So like
mac and cheese can work.
Yeah. Like I'll order pizza. Lay in bed. Watch a movie.
Yeah. Look, listen. Making dinner does not mean you make it with your hands. You can make it arrive.
Yeah.
Do not feed into this craziness.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, we'll have to probably DoorDash tonight.
She's like skipping on one leg, like I gotta make this.
She's gonna break her. Yeah, she's gonna break her other ankle. Is what. Winnie, if that ankle does not heal right, you'll be in worse way. You'll have a cane. Do you want a cane?
Kind of.
Oh, okay.
Can
We'll
it
put it.
have
We'll
like
put a
glitter
little
on
like
it?
Mario
a
head or
snake head?
Wario head on it.
Oh,
Yeah,
perfect.
it'll be like the Grand Nagus from Star Trek, but it'll be like it'll have like a
Nice.
Wario head instead of a Ferengi head. So what? Since you guys are streamers, obviously, have you guys had to deal with anyone kind of sliding into your DMs after you guys have kind of gotten together and just been like, and you guys have obviously been like, no, I'm in a relationship or whatever. You don't have to say anything specific. Just like, have you guys had to deal with that, or have people pretty much kind of left you be at this point?
I didn't deal with it before,
Right?
when it was
Me
around. I don't
neither.
deal with it now. Like that's a Willie question because
Every time
it
when I was growing my Twitter, especially, every time I'd post a selfie for some reason, I would get inappropriate pictures. Like almost every single time. Or I'd get guys hitting on me, or I'd get, people would come into my stream and then they would figure out that I'm dating someone finally. And then like this one guy never came back to my stream, which is fine because I love Squez. Good riddance. But
if that's the only reason they were there, then why were they there?
Right.
Like, I mean, if the only reason they're there was to foster a relationship, like Squez said, like that's not how he was there. That's not how he met you guys. That, that's, so, Daniel Vance from over on NerdTube says, that beard is fucking glorious, Squez.
Has Winnie seen you without it? No.
I might break up with him then.
No,
just kidding.
I like growing my beard out. It was sometimes when it gets out of control, like it gets annoying, like when I'm eating my own facial hair. But otherwise, I like having a big beard. I'm a big guy, and like I don't want my 3 chins exposed. So like the beard stains.
That's why I got this, man. Yeah, if I shave my face, they'd be like, brr.
Yeah,
look like the chin.
Slide a credit card right there. Just
stop it.
Declined.
So.
But to what you were saying though, no, I don't. I've never, to be honest. We've had this discussion before, like not you asking us, but like we make jokes about it because it's funny. Like it's funny to me, but like I've never. I want it to happen to me so I could like know what it feels like because it doesn't happen. Like the worst. Worst I get is like my like IRL friends. Like if I throw a selfie, they'll like throw an eggplant emoji just to be funny, right? Like it's just like it doesn't. For me and men, like it just doesn't happen that way. It doesn't.
Oh, I know, and I know. I mean, I'm right there with you. But
like,
I mean,
it doesn't.
For me, it's like
I'll be happy. I'll be like, look what this person said. Yeah, I made it. Like,
you're nice. Like I can't wrap my brain around how like I was the only one that was like liking him or whatever. So like,
yeah, that's a pet peeve. She thinks like everyone's ready to take me from her, and I'm like, what? What are you talking about?
That's most women. They have. It's not it's like an insecurity that like, but I mean, like like most men are just if they're happy to be in the relationship, they're happy that like they don't want to cause drama.
Yeah, I'm not looking at anybody else. Like,
yeah,
have you seen me? Like, I'm looking at myself right now. I'm like, what? Who's gonna take this guy?
Oh,
that makes me laugh every time.
So does that mean when you are the way you want to look that you'll let somebody take you?
No, I'm just saying that like the statistics of it are very not in my favor. Like it doesn't happen.
Yep. I mean, look, I'm right there with you. I don't, I don't think there's anyone ever trying to take me from, my dog. So, I mean, so I get you there. No,
Riker's such a good boy. Except for whatever the hell he's doing right now.
Well, no.
Yeah.
He wore himself out.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Oops, sorry.
I was gonna make the joke that the first time you showed him, that's how I sleep every night. That's just literally like,
yeah, right. That's pretty. He learned it from me, like. So Major Rage says I almost lost Scarlett, his wife, when he shaved last year, which I remember that. Major Rage showed up to one of our streams one time fully shaved, and I was like, who are you?
I don't think I'd
Yeah.
recognize him either.
You know, I guess that's one irritating thing about me. I always like when it comes to altering your body. I always like. Yesterday, I got out of the shower. And I was like, Winnie, if I ever cut my hair, would you leave me? And she's just like, I don't really like short hair, but I don't think I'll leave you because of it. And I'm like, but what if I wanted to? She's like, you do you, baby. You do you.
I mean,
But-
ultimately, it's his body, just like my hair. Like
it's
I'm gonna
reverse
probably make
psychology.
it purple again.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's reverse psychology. You know,
Yeah, that's
Because
part of it.
I've had my long hair since I was a teenager. Like I've trimmed it, but never had it like short, you know. So now I'm like in my mid 30s. So
is there an age gap between you two, or are you right around the same age?
6
I don't
months,
know.
Yeah.
I'm 6 months older than him.
Yeah.
Ah, he's going after them older ladies.
Yeah.
Good job, Squez.
Cougar City.
Oh my god.
Hell yeah.
Now she's blushing.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. She's a future mimosa MILF. Yep.
What the hell does that mean?
Future mimosa MILF. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Mimosa MILFs. Yeah, he agrees. He let me pet him.
So anything else you guys want to share? I mean, anything about your relationship that you guys have learned, like, from your experience, whether something you would do differently from the beginning, or, whether you would, do differently. I don't know. Like,
well, there's outside of the bad circumstances, like having the class, getting COVID, all of that stuff, I wouldn't really change much. I think that if anything, I've learned with her moving in that like my past doesn't define me, right? Like the trauma that I had in previous relationships, they don't dictate your future relationships. Like I think if you work hard to better yourself and kind of detach yourself from your past and use it to sort of make every situation better, everything will be fine. Like I've learned to really trust the process, trust myself, and that alone has helped me trust her, so that I'm not like, I don't want to play the comparison game every time something remotely similar to a past relationship happens, because that sucks, because that could kill a relationship really quickly. And I've learned that over time that you don't have to think like that. You don't have to, and being with the right person helps you with that, because she doesn't put me in a position to where I do think like that, so I mean that's kind of my biggest takeaway.
Yeah, so similar thing for me, but also like I used to like be in relationships where like I would say something, or like we'd get in an argument and then I would be sort of walking on eggshells. But because we've both been in that kind of situation before, like we've both learned to like, okay, hey, we're gonna talk about this, we're gonna get over it and figure it out. Like I am like a big proponent of like, because he was like, I'm gonna go sleep on the couch because we're fighting, and I'm like, no, you're not. No, you're not. You're gonna sleep in this bed, and we're gonna figure it out. And then every time we've done that, it's not a lot, but every time we've done that, it's just made us stronger. And then we learn from it, and then hopefully it doesn't happen again.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's because I threatened to beat her in Mario Party, and I lost.
I'm glad you added Mario Party to the end of that one.
So. Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? No.
He never wins in Mario Party anymore. I made sure I got myself.
I stopped threatening with video games. I understand my skills as a gamer are very, pointed. So unless I could weasel her to play a platformer, I'm gonna lose every time.
But even when we play platformers, I have some good instincts, and then he's like, "Oh, take Knuckles and touch that bomb," and then I'm like, "What?" Mm-hmm. And then I die. Mm-hmm. But because I listened to him.
Yep.
But those are the kinds of like, at worst, like those are the kinds of like things that we get into now. Is like like he tells me to do something and my brain says, no, you're supposed to do X, Y, and Z. But he's like, no, I promise you, do this. And sometimes he's right. And sometimes I'm right. And sometimes it pisses the other one off when we do the other thing. Mm-hmm. But like, if that's the worst thing that you're getting pissed off about is a video game, then I say you're doing pretty okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what's the future look like for you guys? Like, I mean, like, you know, like, do you guys plan on moving like somewhere bigger? Do you guys plan on, you know, I don't know. I do like an open book with the future. Like what's the future look like for you guys?
I'm not really strict on like having like a 5-year plan. I kind of just take things. I have goals and see what I could do to reach those goals. But right now, I just got a promotion at work, so I am using that to kind of start saving to get to buy a house. You know, I'm gonna start doing that. I've been working a lot of hours. I've been working a lot. And I want to take that promotion and kind of run with it, see what else, you know, see where else I can go in my career, and you know, bring Winnie along for the ride. Like I want to buy a home, you know, I want her to have a space where, you know, she could do anything that she dreams of. Like that's literally something we could build together, you know, because truth be told, I should have said this earlier, but like my last partner, like we lived in this house together too. So it's a little bit of a weird, you know, emotional trigger because, you know, my last partner was within these walls as well. So I kind of want to move on and, you know, build our future together without any of the shadows of the past, you know, if that makes sense, to make it sound you know, dramatic. But yeah, that's my plan. And then, you know, we'll talk about, you know, her plan. What do you want to do? What's your goal?
Overall for the both of us, yeah, that sounds good. It would be nice to have a house and all of that stuff, but I do want to say that he does a good job at saying, hey, you need filament, go get filament. Let's see what you can do. Let's test your 3D printing. Like I have all, I mean, I've been hurt, so it sucks, but I have all the freedom now. Like yesterday I made candy heart boxes and like for my friends, and like I have all the freedom to be as creative as I want. And it's kind of like the first time ever. So like I want to work on, like, I can finally, without having to worry about an extra job or like having to work or whatever, I can finally, like, I want us to be able to help support us with my crafty skills. And so that's part of my goals. Yeah, but that's me. But yeah, house is fine. I maybe some more cats. Definitely a fish tank. I told him if we won the lottery, we're living in an aquarium.
Yeah.
So with our own sharks.
You never want me to visit you.
Yeah.
Nope. You can stay at the Hotel 6 or whatever down the street.
I'll be right there with you, Cheeto. Don't worry.
Yep. Okay. I think that kind of wraps it. I mean, as I said, if you guys have anything you want to add, I mean, just kind of like, you know, the floor's open.
I really wish he would stop wearing my shirts.
Yeah, I wear her shirts. They're comfortable. Like, look at this. This is
but I've lost
amazing.
weight.
I have not lost weight. I've actually gained weight, but
that's because I cook good.
Yeah,
that's happy. That's happy weight, though.
Yeah, right.
You know? So what's that say about Winnie? Not happy.
I'm stressing her out. That's what that says, right? Like I'm just. But don't tell her, man. She's gonna leave me, and you know, dang. And I gotta have a whole character redemption arc, and you know, anime montages of me doing whatever. And like,
no, you gotta get the Mulan. Let's get down to business.
Yeah.
And to Daniel Vance's comment, do you plan on adding a new Nintendo console to your family when
Oh,
you guys
yeah.
get the Nintendo
You know
Switch 2?
damn well.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you get the Nintendo Switch 2, we need to have a video where you have a Nintendo Switch 2 wrapped up in a baby blanket. Be like,
Yeah.
everyone, I have an announcement to make.
Uh-huh.
We have made a new addition to the family. Here is Nintendo Switch 2 is welcome to the family.
She I don't know if she mentioned it to you personally, but we get to try out the Nintendo Switch 2 out in New
Really?
York. Yeah, out in April. Yeah, we're gonna take a trip to New York and go to the Nintendo store and get a sneak peek of the Switch 2. I'm really excited.
So again, he doesn't plan for things outside of the house, and I will go outside. And it's not like I'm like going out clubbing or anything, but like it's museums and it's whatever. But I got the email randomly that said, "Hey, if you want to go to New York to try out the Nintendo Switch 2 in April, you can." And I'm like, "What?" So it was like a lottery thing, and I'm like, I don't care if he says yes or not, we're going. But so yeah, we get to go try it out. I guess the Nintendo Direct for the Nintendo Switch 2 is going to be April 2nd. We're going to go on the 6th, which is a Sunday because he'll be off work. I could have tried for a different day, but I also wanted to like try to guarantee my ticket because Sunday is I figured more people are going back to work and not wanting to travel and all of that. So I'm like, let's hedge our bets and try for this. And then they said we won the lottery out of like there was like 250,000 people that put in the 4-hour range that they let us. So kind of awesome.
Nice. Yeah.
So yeah, a Nintendo Switch 2 is in our future, of course, because we both love Nintendo. Like that's like we talked about earlier. That's a great thing that was like we both love Mario, we both love Pokemon, we both love Sonic, and all of those things can happen on a Nintendo. So
yeah, she's gonna be the test dummy for version 1. Like I never buy consoles day one because of all the problems that comes with it. Because I'm aware that as a consumer, they push products out without fully fleshing them out. Mm-hmm. So she's gonna be my test dummy for the Switch 2, and then I'm gonna buy one later, or when they come out with the OLED or whatever the second model is, I'll get it. But
yeah, I agree.
At one point, I had like 4 Nintendo Switches. Like I had a Lite, I had an OLED, I had a day one Nintendo Switch because, well, you know me. Do you remember us talking about like the patents and the new things coming? And he would be like, "Stop looking at patents. Are you on drugs? Like, what is wrong with you?" And I'm like, "I just want the new Nintendo."
Yeah, no, I always wait for a period of time before I get the console.
Yeah, I'll usually wait about a year. Like, I mean, that's usually a good amount of time to wait for like, them to like work that first generation, second generation, like stuff out. And then usually by Christmas the next year, or like, whatever, that's when it normally. Now with the PS5, it was different because you had the poachers, but I mean,
the you could get PS5 forever. Like, I gave up on getting one.
The only way
2.5 years to get one.
Yeah, and the only way I got one is because I have 3 GameStops that love me, and so when they know, so when they had one, they held it and didn't tell anybody, which is illegal. So I'm not going to tell what stores or anything.
I'm running. I'm out of here. You're going to get me.
And so that was the only way I got one, was because they all knew my number and put whatever down payment they had to put down. And I was like, I'll be right there whenever you tell me to. And that was 3 years in. So
yeah, mine was, I just happened to go to a GameStop. One night, and I ask them every single time I go in there. I go, they say, "Oh, can we help you?" I said, "You got any PS5s?" And like every time they're like, "Nah," they give you that smile. The one time I went in, I said, "You got any PS5s?" He said, "Actually, we're getting a shipment in tomorrow. It's first come, first serve. I don't know how many are coming, but you basically have to come in the morning before we open, stand in line, and the first however many people come in, get those PS5s."
Whoa.
So I got there. I think I was 4th one there. I went there about an hour and a half early, and I was the 4th one there. So
crazy.
Yep. And I finally got mine. I was like, and it was about 2.5 years in.
Yeah. So for me, it's crazy. Just on a side note, why are they gonna release a PS6 it seems like it's going to be too soon because nobody could get one at the beginning for the first 3 years. No one had one. So it's like, I get the timetable. Normally you would have released a PS6 in this time because we would have all been playing our PS5s, but we have not had long enough with our PS5s.
Yeah, that's why. But that's for me, as I said. I mean, I don't normally get a new console in the first year anyway.
I don't know when they're releasing the PS6, but they better not be soon because Sony's stock is so far down as far as like the play. Is the PlayStation Network even up yet? Is it still out?
Yeah, it's back up.
It's back up.
Okay, I was like, my coworkers will talk about it all the past couple days. Like, geez.
I didn't even know it was down until today.
Like, and it was worse like back then.
Because
Like
you
it
do
was
PC gaming, right?
No, I do. I have a PS5. I do most
What
of my
do you play
gaming.
on most?
I'd say it's pretty even between my
okay.
PS5 and my. I mean, because like I'll play like Horizon. I'll play like my Final Fantasies on console. I am playing my PC games like my Star Trek some of my Star Wars, a lot of my JRPGs, like the older ones, I'll play on PC because I can get them on PC easier than I can on console. Unless I'm playing like original, like Breath of Fire 3, Legend of Dragon, like unless I'm playing like original hardware, you know what I mean? Like, so, but some of the older stuff is just easier to get on PC. But like all my more modern stuff, I love playing on console. It just works better. Like Hogwarts, like I played Arkham Origins recently on PC, and it sucked. I was like, why is this game having such a hard time? Like my PC is like literally less than 2 years old. Well, maybe a little more than 2 years at this point, but I'm just like what? Arkham Origins came out in like 2013. Like, what is wrong with this?
Right.
I'm like, what is wrong with this? So I
am a console queen and I love Nintendo first and foremost. Like every guy I've ever dated, like they came second to Nintendo. Because I was getting that console. If I had there was one relationship where they were like, we can't afford this. And if you buy that, I'm like, it's my money and I saved up for it. If you buy that, we're done. Well, bye. Because I'm getting the next version of the DS. I have every version of the DS and there was like 8 or 10 of them.
Yeah, so somebody tells you what to do with your money. Like, no, I'd be gone. I'd tell them buy too.
And so I love the DS is still my favorite system. Like I had it, I brought it everywhere with me forever. I was rudely playing it in concerts when the band sucked while I was waiting for the main act. Like I didn't even care. But yeah.
What's your favorite console, Squez?
Now it's the Nintendo Switch. Like I love handheld gaming. I mean, I've always been a fan of handheld gaming, but as a kid, it didn't really sink in much because I had more free time to kind of sit and play video games. But like, I was a big fan of the PSP. Like, freaking, I didn't have a 3DS, but like with the Nintendo Switch, it just like reignited my love for handheld gaming. Like I play the Switch all the time. Like I take it to work sometimes. Like I never really have enough free time to justify like sitting and playing a video game, like unless I'm streaming. But like,
or unless we're playing together.
Yeah,
we do that a lot, which is nice because we play a lot of like we're in the middle of 100%ing Super Mario Wonder, and like because that's a multiplayer game now. Like it's fun.
But like handheld gaming is just where it's at for me. Like I haven't bought I have a PS4. I never even got a PS5. I still have a PS4 and I haven't touched it in like it's got to be a couple years now.
He has a we've been playing Baldur's Gate 2 on the PS5. So
but like I mostly play retro games. Like there hasn't been like a modern game that's like compelled me to buy a new system for, like
I'll give you one that should. Hogwarts Legacy.
I have it.
Well, yeah.
But I know, but still, like you need to play it. Like
I was considering buying it on the Switch. It's on the Switch, right?
But it's not as.
But like all the ports are like the specs of the Switch, like
They
is
tried.
Switch is not made for I'm sorry to say, but Switch is not made for those big of games like
yeah,
Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, for Hogwarts Legacy, for like the Switch is fantastic. It is a ingenious piece of machinery for all of like the the Mario, Sonics, Mega Man, like all of that retro stuff, even modern games based on retro stuff. But like
retro
for the games,
adjacent,
like but like the big games, like open world games like that, like the Switch just doesn't have I don't think it has the power. And I mean, honestly, it doesn't need to, because its selling point is more that other stuff that we were talking, the Mario, Mega Man, Sonic, like all that stuff, because that's its wheelhouse.
Yes.
And I get like having ports is good, but it's like, I'm sorry, Switch, but there are just some games you just don't really need. They're like the Assassin's Creed games, like
Mortal Kombat 11. Oh my god, I bought that at full price on the Switch, and it was
I have it on PlayStation 5 because I already knew.
But that's what I'm saying is like, like that. As I said, Switch needs to stick to what it's like good at. It's still going to make money no matter what. You know what I mean? Like,
people are always going to know who Mario is more than any other character in the whole world. So just stick to the cutesy Mario game. And even though we have Mario, look how like we just did Mario Golf, and the stitching on their clothes look real. So like for what it is, just stick to what you got, because it still looks beautiful, But anything else? Who's your favorite Pokemon?
My favorite Pokemon.
Oh, I was going to ask you that earlier. Like, out of the starting three, who were you picking?
Out of my starting three, oh my god, no, I can't answer that. Man.
Yes, you can. You have to.
Bulbasaur, dude. I picked Bulbasaur.
Bulbasaur.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can date him anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a Bulbasaur somewhere, but no.
It's just too good.
Too good.
Bulbasaur's too good.
I always chose
Bulbasaur's easy mode. Like, it's just.
I always chose Squirtle.
Yes, Squirtle.
Right?
I love all the water Pokemon. I'm sorry,
I love water Pokemon too. So do you like the sharks?
No, it's Bulbasaur.
Mike.
The first three gyms are just like, it's just easy mode. You just Vine Whip Misty and Brock. You get to Lieutenant Surge. Raichu can't do anything. By then, you already have like a starting team of what you need to get through the rest of the game. Like Bulbasaur is easily it's easily Bulbasaur.
Nah.
Like,
my actual favorite Pokemon though, out of all of them, is Hydreigon, which is a 3-headed dragon, as most of you who've been around my channel know. And your favorite Pokemon outside of that is
Machamp.
I don't know who I mean, Squirtle's always and Blastoise has always been like my favorite. I mean, I like the Polys, like
Poliwrath.
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah, all three of the Polys. I love how it goes from this cute little like tadpole looking thing to like this. I'm gonna F you up, mother. Look at these.
Right.
These fists are rated E for everyone. Yeah. I just love he's got the big ass gloves on, and I'm like, yeah, you know what? I love him. And then Gyarados, like, yeah, water Pokemon are so good.
Okay, what's your favorite video game of all time? I'm gonna do a couple more of these.
Favorite video game of all time? Yikes, that's a loaded question. Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Why? It's I've played it since I was a kid. It's my comfort game. It has a lot of levels. You would think it's a small game, but it's not. It's 2 games in one. Not really many design flaws. The OST is amazing. I think it's just platforming at its finest, honestly. Like, I don't have many complaints about that game. And I could play it mirrored. I could play it with like an upside down controller. I've beaten it deathless. I've beaten it without failing any emerald attempts. Like, it's just my game.
So like, when I played that with you, you were like struggling.
Yeah.
To play it with me. Oops, sorry.
See, the secret is like how I coax you into doing that is if you let me be Tails, it's easier because I essentially control you. Like you get to control the progress of the stage. you get to control the progress of the stage, but I could take you. Like you could jump and I catch you and I could just take you where we need to go, right? Like it's
Except for that one time.
except for that one time.
So my favorite game of all time that is a hard question. I would say Mario Galaxy probably, because it was like the first like cool 3D. The texture was like everything was like metallic-y, pretty, you know what I mean? Like Bowser looked badass, you know. So I think the first Mario Galaxy is my favorite game. Yeah. Anything else? I also want to say thank you guys all for coming. There's Mike, there's Brittany doing my shout outs. I'm so grateful.
Thank you guys. Yeah.
Old Grumpy Viking, I'm gonna have to we're doing the podcast, so the sound alerts don't work. I'm sorry. So I'll refund your stuff. But Viking, Mike, Zam who came, his dad is sick, so I hope your dad is feeling better. Let's see. Brittany,
Cloudy was here
Cloud
earlier.
was here, Lightning, Rock is here or was here,
Hellraiser,
AO, Bracker. So I just want to thank you guys for still like hanging around. I know I haven't been streaming a lot lately, but I'm just trying to get into my groove of things. But yeah, so thank you guys for coming. I try to do better if you're on Twitch, you should be able to click in the title Squez's name to follow him, and I put Milquetoast Gaming and the NerdTube Twitch both on there if you could follow those two. But yeah, so I just want to say thank you guys all for still hanging out. I've been doing a lot of stuff with NerdTube this week. Me and Zam just did a live, which I don't think you knew, Paradise review. So like, make sure if you don't see me on my own Twitch, make sure you come over and see me and Cousin Cheeto and Ginger and the whole lot of us. There's like Star Trek content, there's Doctor Who content, there's content for everybody over there. So make sure you please go over and follow them on YouTube or subscribe to them on YouTube and all the things.
And thank you, Cousin Cheeto, for letting me, come here and make a guest of. Yeah, I was gonna say invade the podcast. You know what's funny? It was sprung up on me. I didn't really have. She was like, "We're gonna do this episode." I was like, "Okay, like sure." And honestly, like it's weird being in front of a camera without a controller in my hands because I don't know what to do. Like this is not really my element.
You just got to talk with your hands.
That's... and it shows because I've been rubbing my knees are red because I've been doing this like the entire episode.
He's been rubbing his knees. They can't see
because it's just they can't see it. I mean, they can see the shoulders. But no, thank you so much. I think streaming and gaming and relationships, it's all part of one like mystical puzzle of love and community. And I'm very grateful not only that you let me be here, but Winnie's allowed me not to embarrass her on her channel.
Well, that's still up for debate.
Yeah, like I'm very grateful. Thank you so much.
No, I'm just grateful Winnie found somebody that makes her so very happy, and I can tell. So.
She's lying.
I am not.
You break her heart. I'll find you.
Oh,
I'll break you.
Christ. Can we end now?
No, we must go for another 3 hours. No, okay. So anyway, as Winnie said, thank you everybody for being here so much for episode 3 of Nerdlationships. I think me and Winnie are going to talk after this, but I think we're planning on doing a Valentine's Day special next week. Maybe, kind of, sort of. We'll work out the details, unless.
It'll probably be on Friday.
We forgot to talk about Valentine's Day.
I know, right?
All week. I've been saying all week I'm not getting her anything, but she's getting something.
But I say right back, it's okay. You can't yuck my yum. I'm gonna get you something anyway.
Yeah, like she's gonna be. I think I might leave if she doesn't like what I get her. I'm not even gonna lie. I think
it's funny because you live there and like,
I'll leave. I'll leave. Okay.
Like, so I'm really bad at getting gifts. If it's not Pokemon, I struggle really hard at like liking the gift, and I'm getting better, but not a lot.
He's like, I bought you this Porsche, and she's like, "Yay!" But is that a Squirtle?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. She is one of those. Like it's actually it as a partner and as someone that wants to like spoil their partner. Like she is the worst person to get gifts for. It's so like
I mean,
because the sweet stuff that would normally fly, it doesn't fly. Like,
how hard is it just to go to Build-A-Bear or go to Pokemon Center and get me one of these?
Yeah,
like, it's not
that's why she
hard.
has it because I got it for her. But like to get to that point, like I couldn't do the normal sweet stuff. I had to like.
He was like he tried. He got there's a rug that I'm standing on that was made that looks like one of my emojis.
Here, I'll pull it out.
And it's cool, but I'm like, what am I gonna do with this?
This was like my move in, like welcome, like move in present to Winnie. I got a carpet made of her emote.
Nice.
And she was just like, okay, cool. Like,
and then I realized I was like, because that's the autism a little bit, and I'm like, oh my god, because he got me some other he got a digital picture done of me as a mermaid once, and I'm like thinking in my head, what am I gonna do with this? I can't squeeze it.
The struggle, Squez, the struggle is real, man.
So yeah, like that's a thing that I'm remembering that I could get better at.
And yeah, it was like, okay.
Wow.
So yeah, all that sweet stuff just doesn't. I have to readjust, redirect.
Yep.
Like I can never have enough. So like.
But do you have a Vaporeon?
Yes,
That's another
I
one.
do, actually.
She hates on me because my favorite evolution is Vaporeon.
Why? Vaporeon's awesome.
Yeah,
because it's weak.
And I was young and I was like not big. Like I was big into Pokemon, but I found it very interesting that Vaporeon was the only Pokemon that could learn Acid Armor back in Pokemon Red and Blue, and I was just like so flabbergasted by it. Even though it didn't do any damage or anything, it was just so cool. Like
I do have one, but some of my stuffed animals are not unpacked still. So
no, it's okay.
But so I will show you. But like right there is a Flareon, and over there is the Umbreon, and like I have them. Every one that Build-A-Bear put out, I have. So
by the way, Mage, I attack your grass types with fireball, so they will automatically get burned out.
How does that work?
No, I attack with fireballs because my Squirtle has the ability to shoot fire. Anyway,
what the hell?
All right, everybody. Again, so we'll figure out the details. Just keep an eye on if you're on NerdTube, I always try to put the podcast out as far ahead as possible, so that people know what's going on. But we'll probably try to do something either Friday or Saturday or something like that. We'll figure it out. We'll maybe let you guys know. You guys have to show up regardless. That is your mission. You don't have any choice. But anyway, all right. So Squez, thank you very much for joining us here.
Thank you.
Oh, no problem, man. Hey, I mean, this is a joint venture with me and Winnie. Like this is the fun we wanted to have. We wanted to talk about this stuff. So, it's a pleasure to have you on and work with Winnie and everything like that. So, all right. Anyway, I'm finally going after eons. I'm finally going to hit end stream. So everybody.